755 were able to obtain accreditation by AACSB International, the premier accrediting organization of business schools in the world. So we're down to about 3 or 4% of all business schools in the world. Add to that that our College of Business also has accounting accreditation, puts us in a group of 182 collegiate schools of business, about 1.5% of all the schools in business in the world. Now, if you add to that, to be accredited, you are minimally qualified to have a Beta Gamma Sigma chapter. So ours is a long tradition of excellence in student engagement, but we are also, I'm proud to say, a premier chapter. This year we were recognized as having high honors for the level of student engagement, the scholarship of our students, and the engagement of our faculty. It really is a wonderful thing to have happen. This year I was honored to ask to serve on the International Board of Governors of Beta Gamma Sigma, specifically because other deans around the world recognize the exciting things happening here at Bowling Green at Western Kentucky University. And I'm very, very proud to represent our college and our university in the international discussion about the future of business education. It is truly an honor. But the reason those recognitions happen are because of our students, our faculty, and our advisors. I'd like to recognize once again our two advisors from the faculty that make the Beta Gamma Sigma program so successful. Dr. Don Bolton, Professor of Management. You also may not know, but I'd like to share with you, Dr. Bolton is also Director of our Center for Entrepreneurship Innovation. So our model is, among our undergraduate and graduate programs, we have centers of excellence that connect what we do in the classroom with the practice community. It really is a unique model around the world to recognize our engagement and student success. The other advisor with us this evening has been very active with our program is Dr. Evelyn Thrasher of the Department of Information Systems. Dr. Thrasher is also director of our PEAK program, the Professional Education and Knowledge Initiative, which is an award-winning student-centered program that prepares our students for academic and professional success. Please give them a hand again for their efforts. You guys rock. You know, the heart and soul of a College of Business are its faculty and staff, and we have the best I've ever had a chance to work with. I would like for our faculty and staff to please rise and be recognized. If you could stand for a minute, they're just absolutely fantastic. Give them a hand. You know, Socrates once said, education is not so much about filling a vessel is so much as kindling a flame. And I can tell you that our faculty kindle that flame of education excitement every day in the classrooms that they're in. You know, our students are here because of some very special people. There are parents and grandparents and fiancés and friends that are here this evening. If you would stand to be recognized, without you, our students can be as successful as they are. Would you stand to be recognized for a minute? Parents, grandparents, friends. I know you're out there. We have some special guests as well with us. I'd like to recognize our past academic advisor for Beta Gamma Sigma. Ms. Sherry Henson, who's a faculty member in accounting, won the National Advisor Award and really has set the trend of Beta Gamma Sigma. Sherry, thank you for being here. Dr. Shane Spiller, our video guy in the back. Dr. Spiller, Professor of Management, thank you. Ms. Amy Miller is our Director of Development. She's in the back. If you're interested in making a donation, see Amy. She's happy to take your money. And I'm sure there's a number of people we've overlooked, but I would be really remiss to overlook our administrative team that makes our college a special place. My administrative assistant, Christina Harvey, Nicola Sparks has helped a lot. And our newest member of the administrative team that's here this evening with us, we're so happy to have Andrea Henry. Andrea, please stand and be recognized. I would really, really be remiss if I didn't recognize my best friend, partner, and the love of my life, Julie Katz. So Julie, thanks for being here. You make it all a lot of fun for me. Thank you so much. Well, now it's an opportunity to introduce a very exciting speaker, our honoree, a guest who is tireless in his dedication to our university, to our community, and really the dialogue of investment activity in higher education nationally. Mr. John Ridley is the Managing Director of Wells Fargo Advisors. And a little bit about him. His dedication is long-term. He is a graduate of Western Kentucky University and very proud of that heritage. He has had a vision, a very strong vision for the things we are doing today, like the building we're sitting in today, the fraternities you pass by, the new buildings on campus. He has not only served as a managing director of a major investment house here in Bowling Green, but he currently serves as one of our Board of Regent members. He is a person who has tirelessly given of his own time, his efforts, and his financial resources to make Bowling Green and Western Kentucky University to be a very special place. He has served on the WKU Alumni Association Board of Directors. He was a 2001 recipient of the WKU Student Government Association Citizen Award, the 2003 recipient of the Volunteer of the Year Award from the President's Circle of WKU, and the 2012 recipient of the Summit Award, the WKU President's Board of Advisors. He is a 2009 graduate of Leadership Kentucky, and I'm proud to call Mr. Ridley a friend and a mentor. He lives here in Bowling Green with his delightful wife, Carolyn Ridley, and he has continued to serve on our Board of Regents until June of 2018. Please give a heartfelt Gordon Ford College of Business welcome to Mr. John Ridley.
Gosh, a guy from Dawson Springs, Kentucky, that really was a very nice remarks. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to come and speak to you and share some thoughts this evening. I guess we need to do that. When Dr. Katz asked me or sent me the note about the nomination, I thought he was asking me to be on the nominating committee. I didn't know that he was telling me that I was the nominee. So I was very humbled, but I would like to thank all the faculty, Dr. Thrasher, Dr. Bolton, and all the students. We are at this university for you. Our job, we're in the business of education, and that's what we're about. So tonight what I'd like to do is just to share a few thoughts of the experiences, of things that have happened to me, and hopefully will be some way that it will motivate you in your thought process and your careers for the future. Also, we're going to kind of finish with a little small exercise. I've given my wife, Carolyn, the opportunity to give me the stop speaking. So if you see that or her hands wave, please know that that's what that's about. First of all, I'd like to share something with you, and I think we all, regardless of our age, we need to all accept that there are people around us that sometimes give us ideas and stop our thought process and our ideals of what we might want to do. So I'm going to go back in time. When I was about 8 years old, my grandmother had the opportunity to serve as one of the mail clerks in Frankfurt during the session, the legislative session, and I had the opportunity to go with her and be a page. And when I came back, I am from Dawson Springs, by the way. It's a small mining community in Western Kentucky. There were 25 people in my graduating class in high school, and so it's not a really big place. But anyway, so I did that, and when I came back to Dawson Springs, I was very excited about government, about the opportunity to serve, and so I went to the barber, and was getting a haircut, and his name was Slim Allison, that's a good name for Dawson Springs. And his partner in the barbershop was named Owen Wright. And so Slim Allison and Owen Wright are asking me, well, where have you been? What have you been doing? And I was really excited at 8 years old. I was saying I've been to Page in Frankfurt. It was so great. And the guy looked at me, and Slim Allison looked at me, and he said, so what do you want to do when you grow up? Now, think about that a second. Everybody gets challenged like that. You know, a lot of people say, well, what's your plan? You got to have a plan. You know, plan your plan, activate your plan. Well, I don't really think that. I think that ideas are the first thing. Very rarely do you see a plan develop and then an idea come along. It's the idea first. So always consider that dreaming big and thinking about your own personal idea. So he said, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, I want to be the governor of the state of Kentucky. I'm 8 years old. Now, think a second. How many times have we heard something from our peer group, a young student, someone that's much older, or maybe a mentor, and we have not taken the idea and reinforced it to say, sounds interesting, might work, and if it does, how great would that be? Slim Allison said this, boy, don't you know no one from Dawson Springs can be the governor of the state of Kentucky. Well, I don't know if you know, but my cousin, Stephen Shear, is from Dawson Springs. I'm just happy that he didn't get his haircut there. There's another thing that destroys good ideas. And we've all been in a committee, doesn't matter whether it's the church or a committee at the university or somewhere else, and someone comes up with a really good idea and it gets destroyed immediately with these words. We can't afford that. Think about it. How many places have you been and the first decision is based on whether we can afford it or how much it costs? How expensive is it? Let the idea dream and build. Recently, Dr. Katz and I both had the privilege of meeting a gentleman who is the dean of the leadership school at University of Virginia. And it's the Batten School. It didn't exist until Mr. Batten gave $100 million. $100 million. Now that guy happened to be a very wealthy individual. He had a philanthropic interest. It was a wonderful thing. Well now, what if that committee could have sat around and said, well, we can't start a leadership school because we can't afford it. So great ideas can be not only stopped by someone taking advantage of the situation by saying it can't happen, or we can't afford it. So tonight, there's a couple of things I'd like to do. I'm going to tell you a little something about be, do, have. And you've got a little card on the table, and we're going to do a little exercise here in a second. Most people in life have this all backwards. They have, be, do, have. Have, be, do. So, they say, well, to be successful, you need the watch. Now, if you had a really nice watch, you all know what brand I'm talking about, don't you? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to bring any brands up, but you know what I'm talking about. If you've got the watch, then you're successful. Then what happens? You work really hard, you get the watch. And then you're showing the watch off, and somebody says, oh, no, it's not the watch. It's not the watch at all. It's the car. It's the car. You need the car. And then what happens? You get the car. And then what do they tell you? Oh, no, it's not that. You need a boat to go with the car. My point in that is it's not having things first. It's being first. How long do you think it takes to be a successful graduate student or a successful student? That long. That long it takes to be successful in whatever field you're in, whatever relationship you're in, whatever you're doing, it takes that long. It's the positive attitude of being. So by being first, then the next step is what? Do. You have to have activities that meet the objective. So, someone said a long time ago to me, they said, well, how successful do you want to be in the financial services business? I said, well, I want to be the #1 guy in the state of Kentucky and Tennessee. Well, if I decide to do that, I can't just go to the house and sit and read the newspaper. I've got to do the activities it takes to get there. A great physician is not going to be a great physician unless they decide that's what they're going to be. And then every activity that they do, every decision they make, every time that something comes up, they are making activities and exercising on the dream or the ideal. The last thing is, that's when have comes. Have comes when you can reward yourself for successful accomplishment of goals. Now, you know, there's a lot of folks on rewards, but a lot of people get that all mixed up. They think, oh, all of a sudden I make my sales goal for your business, my business is now a success. It's got a 10% profit margin, net after tax. Whatever it is, you need to have a reward that matches the accomplishment. Now, when I first started in business, not the very first, but in the financial services business, we literally used to take 20 $1 bills, and every time that you made a positive phone call, and this is really going back a long time ago, you'd take a $1 bill out and you'd lay it on your desk so that there was a physical visual of an activity and a reward. During that period, I used to polish my own shoes, which I still do. But as a reward, when I would successfully finish a day, what did I do? I'd go somewhere. Niece was the lady downtown, and she polished my shoes for me. So that was my reward. Could be an ice cream cone. I'm saying the reward needs to meet the goal. But if there is a great career thing, reward yourself with something really nice. Take a vacation. Do something again for your family. So, do something for yourself and your family. So, the reward. So tonight, here's what I'd like for you to do. There are cards, and it says, be, do, have. Now, I have to give the right author the credit for this. This was a gentleman that I met 25 years ago. His name is Bob Dunwoody. Now, he wasn't one of these raw sales kind of guys. He was kind of what I call a life coach. And he had many, many philosophies. And someday I'll share some stories about that as well. But what I would like you to do is take this card. Well, let's first take the envelope. I want you to take the envelope. It's a regular mail envelope. I want you to write your address. I want you to address that envelope to yourself, wherever you're living now, or your permanent address for your students at your parents or your mentors. I want you to address that envelope to yourself. So let's just take a second and do that. Write it so you can read your own writing. No one's going to be testing you on your handwriting. Okay? And you can finish that in a second if you're... So, the next step is, you'll notice that you have this 4x6, I think. That's not 3x5. But anyway, 4x6 index card. And it's got the date, today's date. And so what I'd like for you to do, doesn't have to be real complicated. I want you to tell me what you will be in 1 year. Now, some people say, oh, well, I'm already a doctor in the econ department, or I'm already this or that. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what are you going to be to yourself. I'm going to plant a garden. I'm going to volunteer at the church. I'm going to improve my relationship with my significant other. What are you going to be in 1 year? Now, it can be a goal. I want to lose 10 pounds. Don't make it too complicated. Okay? So what do you want to be? Now, you can have a couple things. You can have, first one would be, I want to be something to my family. Write a number 2. I want to be something to my core work group. Number 3, I want to do something for my country. It could be just as simple as register to vote. So, something there that you're going to be in 1 year. First thought that came to your mind normally is the best one. The very first thought that you had, write that down. Now under do, I want you to put 2 things that you are physically, some action item that you're going to do to accomplish what you just put at the top of the page. If it's, I'm going to call my mother, write her phone number down. I'm going to be better about getting up on time and being at work. Whatever the idea is. Some action item, 1 and 2, under the category do. Now I'm going to veer off a minute. Every year I do this at the first of the year. And I put down my 10 goals that I want to accomplish. Well, for the last 4 years, the first thing I put on my list is I'm going to get rid of stuff. How many people say that they're going to get rid of stuff? Yeah, I'm talking like stuff in the garage and stuff in my desk. So I haven't got all my list done either, but it's a little bit of couple. So 2 action items. And then the last thing that I want you to do is the have. I want you to write down a reward. That if you accomplish these things, next year you're going to reward yourself. It could be big. It could go to Africa. My good friend Harold Little, I've got to veer off there. We just shared. He told me some great successes that he has. Harold has been a very dear friend of mine for 27, 8 years. And he shared with me some great successes that have happened to him personally as well as his career. And it's really great. I'd asked him the question. I said, Harold, when we met 27 years ago, did you think you were going to South Africa? you'd be teaching in Beijing, do you think that you would have a doctorate? I mean, if we did that and we focused on those ideals, we can accomplish them right there. Shining example of a great citizen too. All right, so does everybody get the hash? Great. Now I want you to, if you finish that, I want you to put it in the envelope. I love this. You don't have to lick these. Just pull the thing off. Now, why am I having you do this? Because I'm going to collect every one of these, and you've got to trust me. I'm not going to open them. That's the reason that nobody can hold them up to the light. Carolyn helped me get these envelopes because you can't see through them. And then next year, I'm going to try to mail them to you so they arrive on the 13th of April. Now, I've done this a couple of times, and it's amazing how your life will change. You'll find out a couple of things. Number one, you shot below the mark. You accomplished more than you committed to. Now, what a joy is that? And what happens when you accomplish more than you put down there? You get a bigger reward. So, hopefully this little talk that we've had tonight will be some good thing that will happen to you. I know it wasn't business-centered, but this can be something that, from a personal standpoint, you'll be able to enjoy a little later. So with that, I'd open any questions. Anybody want to ask a question of anything we talked about? No? Yes?
Did you say you off that again?
I'm sorry? Oh, Be New Have is a fellow by the name of Bob Dunwoody. He's a motivational type speaker, and he's actually based in Colorado. I don't even, quite frankly, I'm sort of sad to say, I don't even know if Bob's still around. He did have one other thing. He said he never wanted to tell anybody how old he was, because as soon as he told how old he was, everybody would go, well, Bob can't ski anymore. Bob can't roll around on the floor with his grandkids. He's too old. So I've decided I am never going to use that word, ever. Old. Someone did ask me the other day if I would retire. I said, no, I've worked all my life to be here. I'm not quitting now. Thank you very much.
What a terrific individual who's dedicated his time, his talent, and his research